Hey, what's happening? Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, as I promised in my last video, I want to talk just a little bit about the whole Mike Tyson altercation thing. It's just my opinion. And I got to be honest, I'm a little weary making this video. I kind of have the same gut instinct as I had in the video I made right after the Will Smith incident. When I first saw the Will Smith slap incident, my gut instinct was, hell yeah, he's standing up for his woman. But I made another video probably about a few days later where I had time to think it over. And I realized that one momentary lapse of being able to make a good decision on Will Smith's part changed his name and his legend and his legacy forever. Just that one fraction of a second where it went through his mind and he didn't stop himself from standing up, right at that fraction of a second, right there, changed everything about his legacy, how people are going to remember him, his movies, and everything. And it reminded me of trying to make good decisions when, from in my recovery. And I had second thoughts about my initial cheering Will Smith on. Okay, let's look at Tyson here. Okay, so I read the articles, and this guy was clearly intoxicated. People in the airport bar, there's reports from people in the airport bar that he was already intoxicated before he got on the plane. The thing that bothered me here, I once again, I got to say it. I love it. I think I could see myself getting that angry and doing that. The thing that crossed the line for me. Reportedly, Tyson was patient with the guy, even took selfies with him initially. But when the guy kept leaning over the barriers, the the plexiglass barriers, that's where it crossed the line for me. These days, all through my whole life, I've had a sense of my area, of my space, and especially, pretty much only with males. With females, it's not an issue, but with males, when somebody gets in that space, violates my space, and I warn them. After that, I know my adrenaline just goes through the roof. If you watch this video, there's one part that they call my eye in particular, where this kid is, I call him a kid. He's probably in his 20s. He's leaning over, and it made me mad just watching it. And it almost looks like he's poking or he's talking down. And, I could picture being Tyson. And there is still a COVID pandemic going on. People are still carrying all sorts of germs. I guess Mike Tyson was coming back from a 420 event in San Francisco. And, who knows where this kid was coming from. Both of them could have easily been carrying the virus. I am a lot more... There's been incidents quite a bit where I'll see people I know, and they know that Audrey passed away, and they go to give me hugs. Every time it's been a female, but I see somebody coming towards me into my space and going to hug me, and I get part of me wants to just to stop them. I got to be honest. I especially with the COVID pandemic still. And still the chance of catching this and giving it to people in my family, older people, I'm still very weary. I probably will be for the rest of my life. I'll probably still wear a mask for the rest of my life. But anyway, he's talking down, and his breath and his germs and everything are going all over Mike Tyson, and he's pointing at him. I think honestly, I cannot fault Tyson one little bit for snapping on this guy. I hope it's a deterrent to drunken frat boys all over the country to not do stuff like this. I've noticed since I stopped drinking, I haven't touched alcohol. I have not had one drop, not beer, not one drop of beer or wine. I used to love all those things. I used to drink every day. I haven't had one drop in over 15 years, since October 23rd, 2006. And I see intoxicated people in a whole different light now. They're not funny. They're not. They're usually just stupid and annoying, really. When and I see how people used to probably watch me, and this he's acting like an 8-year-old. Which reminds me of, at the very end, this is the part of the whole video that really got my attention, that really just made me cringe, laugh, I don't know. When this frat boy does the pouty lip thing. I got punched. At that point, I almost questioned if this had all been set up, because the pouty expression was just a little too over the top, like he was hamming it up. I don't know. He looks like an 8-year-old boy whose ice cream cone dropped into the sand. You're gonna buy me another. It's pathetic. In this case, I talk about Will Smith and his legacy, being ruined by that incident. For a 55-year-old guy, Tyson's still, man, he's still a man to be reckoned with. If anything, I think it's going to be the opposite. Because that's what he was famous for, and he hasn't lost any of that ferocity in his. I love it, because he's almost my exact age, and this is a guy that's half his age, less than half his age, and I love it. God help me. I'll probably make a video in a few days when I rethink it through, but this kid's an idiot. That's all I got to say. Kudos to Mike Tyson for putting him in his place. A lot of us have been in that same position, and we love seeing Tyson finally do something about it. All right, you guys, have a great Friday. I'll be back later with another video.